Dear people of God, it's an honor to serve you again as moderator for the next 6 years. And I'm asking for your ongoing prayers as I enter this new term. As we start this new chapter in MCC's journey together, I'm excited for the opportunities and possibilities that God is offering us, even as we grapple with our current realities. In these challenging times, it's important to remember that the world has always been a turbulent place. Oppression, war, violence, and injustice are written in the history of every nation and every community at some point. And even when a community or country seems at peace, the lives of individuals behind closed doors may be anything but peaceful. There's a well-known quote from the Book of Esther in chapter 4, verse 14, and I'm reading from the New International Version. And who knows that you may have come to your royal position for such a time as this. For such a time as this is a quote that's often used. When you go back and look at the passage before this part of the text, Esther is reminded that if she keeps silent, God will raise up others to do the work of liberation that God is calling her to do. MCC, we have a huge amount of experience in how to minister in times of struggle and injustice. Our time to lead is now. The MCC Doing Justice team meets on a regular basis weekly to discuss myriad justice issues and what MCC can do at a denominational level, at a community level, to live out MCC's core value of justice. At a recent meeting, I was being updated on the impact, especially on people of colour, about having the US National Guard on the streets of the US Capitol, Washington, DC, along with a much greater law enforcement presence. We talked about how you might learn from other situations like this to support MCC congregations in cities that are already impacted by this policy and those that are likely to be impacted in the near future. And people in the meeting started to share examples of other times of challenge in the US where this has also been the case. For example, in the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd and after the riots in Ferguson. And then we talked more widely about the experience of MCC siblings around the world, in the Philippines, South Africa, Mexico, Cuba, and other Latin American countries, for example, where violence, oppression, and a strong military presence is or has been the daily experience of many. Remember, MCC started in a time of great social upheaval. MCC, we know how to live and love, minister and protest, follow Jesus amidst trial and challenge. I read a quote recently from the Charter for Compassion newsletter. Charter Compassion is one of the partners of MCC in ministry, and it says, "Kindness and compassion are never abstract. They are lived, practiced, and made real through action." There are so many practical things that we are doing as MCC. Churches open their doors to be places of welcome, hospitality, peace, and sanctuary. They act as hosts for community meetings. Pastors and congregants visibly participate in protests or act as a barrier between law enforcement and the protesters. Congregations have prayer groups committed to praying for the local community on a regular basis, and they raise up local, national, and international issues as part of worship. Individuals and communities use social media to share accurate information, and to send out messages of hope, comfort, and encouragement. MCC is challenging injustice through the law courts and through public statements, through presence, and through silent witness. These are just some of the examples of what's happening around the world. If your MCC is active in justice work, and I'm sure it is, please share your news with communication@mccchurch.net so we can share what you are doing more widely. And if you're not sure how to make a difference, start with a commitment to regular prayer for justice and look around your local community to see where you can help. Small things done consistently affect change. Just think about drops of rain wearing away a stone. In today's world, we're more interconnected than ever before. We are aware of the horrors and hardships being experienced around the world. And this interconnectedness can also be a source of strength. We can learn from each other, support each other, work towards common goals, and use our diversity to make positive change. Times of struggle impact generations differently. Some in the older generation may have already lived through much. Dealing with challenges today may bring up difficult memories and reignite trauma. And yet, there is wisdom and strategies of liberation in the memories and old stories, reminding ourselves of how we reclaimed power personally and as communities can encourage us in these difficult days. Some in the younger generation may have never experienced the oppressions and injustices that seem to be raining down at the moment. It's an opportunity for us to listen to the newer voices among us and to share new ways of protest and community organising. And remember, the letter to the Philippians, chapter 4, it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. In all of this, we are not alone. We are part of our local and our global MCC community. More importantly, we are surrounded by the love and the spirit of our Creator God. After this message, you'll be able to see a litany written by Reverend Marie Alford Harkey as part of the MCC Doing Justice team, which you may wish to use personally or in worship, connecting us around the world with common prayer. And you are welcome to adapt it as you see fit for your context. People of God, this is our time. I will do all I can, working alongside the MC staff, the governing board, the Council of Elders, the network leaders, and all of you, to lead, equip, and resource you so that you can fully answer God's call right where you are, because it takes all of us to be MCC. God bless.